I'm Murray Carter. Welcome to another Carter Cutlery's High Performance Tips. Today we're in sunny Vernonia, Oregon with Jay Geblin of TNW Firearms. TNW Firearms has just released a brand new rifle. Jay, would you tell us a bit about this rifle?
Sure. This is the ASR rifle. Stands for Aero Survival Rifle. This platform was designed specifically with sportsmen and professionals in mind. It's lightweight, compact, versatile, and affordable. The main features, as you can see, are the AR-15 style furniture that are incorporated. It has an open bolt style upper tube, which is the actual receiver. All of the features that it comes with here are what it will actually include upon purchase and the release. The release will be October 31st of this year, 2012. One of the main features that I'd like to highlight is the multiple caliber use. You can go from a 9 to a 40 to a 45, all on the fly.
You can switch calibers.
That is correct.
Let's check this rifle for safety first, and then why don't you show our viewers how you can do a quick caliber change.
Sure.
Remove the magazine, check the chamber. Yeah, there we go, it's nice and safe.
And then once we're sure that there's no round in the chamber, we'll go ahead and start by releasing our barrel bushing, just enough to release the key. Now it'll allow you to set your depth, so as long as you eyeball it and get it lined up right, pops right out. From there, we'll go ahead and remove the lower.
Now does this lower remove like an AR-15 lower?
Very similar.
I see there's two pins there.
Rather than a pivot and a takedown, you have two takedown pins. Now the reason we've decided to use the dual takedown pin is that, similar to an AR, over multiple rounds of firing, you can experience a looseness in the lower, in the contact point. What this allows us to do is use these pins to take up some of that slack over time.
Okay.
The barrel bushing will then come off all the way. And this is actually one of the components to our caliber kit.
Okay, so this is interchangeable then from
That is correct.
9 to 40 to
9
45.
to 40 to 45. Components will be stamped for easy recognition.
Okay, so this one's 9, and what does this one say here?
This is a 40.
And there it says 40, yep.
Okay, it utilizes Glock mags, which are part of the kit, as well as the bolt and carrier.
Okay, so you can use the high capacity Glock magazines as well as regular Glock magazines.
That is correct.
Just have to make sure you get the right magazine for the right caliber.
That is correct.
And it's written right there in the back.
Glock magazines do have that readily labeled as
Okay.
well. Now your bolt is stamped on the side so that you can see that as well. And when you're ready, it pops right out the front.
Okay, so you've cleverly designed this so you can't confuse the components. You can't mix them up as long as you're paying attention to what's written on them.
That is correct.
Okay. Now I'm noticing that buffer there. That seems awfully familiar. Is that a standard AR-15 buffer?
This is a standard AR-15 buffer. Rather than using the AR cycling style, which would be gas impingement, basically what we're looking at is direct blowback. Less moving parts, less opportunity for failure.
Okay.
Once we put our bolt and carrier in there, we go ahead and make sure that we're grabbing the proper barrel to match. Again, it's stamped.
This is the 40 barrel here.
This is the 40, that is correct. Everything has a channel lock and groove system so that you cannot accidentally put it in wrong or not tighten down the barrel and lose any possible head spacing issues.
Well, it takes the same bushing.
That is correct.
Okay.
Now you don't want to tighten it down all the way on the first run because we still need to get our gas key in. And then the lower returns back on there the way we took it off. Put our takedown pins back in there, and we're ready to go with 40 caliber.
Well, that was very quick and very simple. It didn't require any special tools except for this, little pin removing tool, which you could improvise, even use the point of a bullet, I guess, if you had to, a 223 bullet or something.
And as you recall the body language, it'll get quicker and smoother as you work with it.
Certainly. Now, how about these fancy colors? And tell me, what's that all about?
Well, the basic idea is that we want to make this something that can be fired fun and affordable, possibly even for a family, not just the fishermen and the hunters. So the idea is that we're going to offer it in a few different colors. We have some more unique colors, such as a hot pink for the wife, and we offer this green. But the main idea is that it will be available in matte black, which is a hard coat anodizing.
Are you going to offer anything in blue or anything?
We do plan on offering blue, maybe in a less limited run, but depending on popularity, of course.
So you said this rifle is going to be available this October.
October 31st, however, we are taking pre-orders now. When I say October 31st, that's the date I could have it in your hands.
I see. Now, you said it's affordable. What is going to be the suggested MSRP on this rifle?
The MSRP will be at $575, and again, that's MSRP, so if you shop out there with your distributor, it may be a little lower.
But that comes with your scope and all the furniture and a one-point sling.
It is a one-point sling utilizing a mash clip on a hardened steel clip at the buffer tube. So it's a good solid system. It comes with the optics, which are nitrogen. It's purged and sealed, so it's nice waterproof. It's a 4x magnification. And then of course it'll come with the basic furniture that you see here.
Now, I see this has got one kind of AR-15 grip on, but you could change that out to your favorite grip, right?
That is correct. Right now this has the MOEK. It will most likely come with a Tapco at the entry-level pricing, but you would be able to utilize anything that's out there in the market.
And you could change your rear stock as well.
That is correct.
And if that's got a Picatinny rail there, you could have whatever kind of foregrip you wanted on there.
Yes, and it's actually the M1913 standard specification rail, so it's right alongside any military optics that would be out there, whereas your Picatinnies may have some variance from one rail to another.
And that being said, you could change out your optics if you so choose.
That is correct. We've mounted EOText, we've mounted 5x and 6x magnification scopes without any problems.
So now I'm looking at this rifle, but I understand what really makes it shine as a total package is the way that this disassembles and the way you can carry it with you in a small bag, such as the one you brought there.
That is correct. Would you like me to show that?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Sure. We will be offering backpacks of various sizes with various riggings. Our basic model will be anticipated to come with an MRE, a medical pack, enough room to store multiple barrels, multiple calibers, and a rifle. It'll also include the utility tool necessary to work on it or any other items you may have, flashlight, and then room for multiple magazines in case you needed to go. Plus, it'll have an extra pouch for any other items you may want to take out on your journeys.
This could be like a grab-and-go bag, like maybe a 48-hour disaster relief bag.
That is correct. That is correct.
I sure like that idea about being able to have the different barrels for different calibers, because if you grab that bag and you didn't have the ammunition, any ammunition that you came across, if so long as it was 940 or 45,
with 22 in the making as well.
With a 22 long rifle in the making as well, you pretty much can utilize any ammunition that crosses your path.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's a smart idea.
So you have your barrel pouch. You can store up to 5 barrels in there actually. So there's a lot of room there.
Yeah, our viewers are going to be really interested to see how this gun is going to fit in that backpack.
All right, so again, it's similar to the caliber process, how we were swapping it out. We're going to start the same exact way. You're going to back off the bushing. Drop your lower.
Boy, that sure comes apart easy. That key and everything is just like clockwork.
It is. And again, there's a little bit of an alignment window you have to hit, but once you get used to it, it pops right out.
Now, it won't pop out while you're shooting the gun.
Oh no. Oh no. The specs have been designed so that the bolt can actually not travel far enough forward when the lower and the barrel is engaged, so that is not a possibility at all.
Now, I understand you've function tested this actual rifle. How many rounds has this had through it?
This rifle has probably seen upwards of 1,000 to 1,200 rounds through it.
Wow. And functioned just fine.
Functions just fine.
Well, you know
what? I will say that there's some Glock mags out there that are not Glock factory that seem to have some issues.
Like the Made in Korea magazines.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So there's some spec issues there, but as long as you stick with the Glock factory mags, haven't experienced a problem.
Well, are we going to get a chance to shoot this later on?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah. What I'll do here is show you how to toss it into the backpack. That way we can see it actually folded up in a way. Now, if you would like, or if you had multiple optics, you could remove the optics.
This is a quick release.
This is a quick release system that it will come with. So if your bag that you decide to use is even smaller, or you have a smaller pouch you'd like to fit it in, that would be another dimension that you could take down. In this particular bag, we've decided to go with the ease of putting it together when you remove, so having one less step is always a benefit.
So Jay, while we're talking about optics, tell me about this optic that the rifle's going to come with.
This is a 4x30 optic. It is sealed and nitrogen purged. That way you do not have to deal with any fogging or humidity, any variation that may come from the weather or altitude changes. It's also a mil dot sight.
Oh, great. So once you learn how to use those mil dots, and the 4-power is such a great optic all the way out to 100 or 200 yards.
It's very comfortable, especially at the 100-yard mark. So you can zero it up at 50 and then back down at 150 and try and get used to your sweet spot in the middle.
And you still have a wide field of view.
That is correct. Now we've actually, with low quality ammunition, at 100 yards we're maintaining 4-inch groups, which is rather impressive. If we utilize the nicer top shelf ammunition, we're bringing that down to about 2 inches at 100 yards.
But you can't ask for any more accuracy out of a small carbine than that.
That is correct. Now, again, breaking it down to its smallest component, this is pretty much a standard 48-hour size bag. We will offer these. The price for a complete kit will be a little more, and that will be determined, but it'll also have more options and features that you'll be able to pick and choose from, kind of like a menu.
Sure. Like the MREs that you're going to pack in?
Yes, some of the packs will include military spec MREs. We'll also have medical kits and trauma kits, goodie kits, things you might want to have in a survival pack in an emergency, or even out on a day hike. Now the pack itself has components built into it here. I usually store the lower here. I usually store the caliber and all the other kits down at the bottom.
You got your charging key there.
That is correct. Putting things where you're going to be familiar with them will be best for you. The idea is, worst case scenario, you may be fumbling around in the dark. So muscle memory will go a long way in a situation like this. So I tend to put everything right back in the same spot and pick where I'd like to have that.
Now, in a real emergency situation, the customer may only want to keep one setting for calibers in there, you know, all 9 parts or all 40 parts, avoid any confusion.
That is correct. In a real emergency, there's going to be a little bit of nervousness, possibly some panic, so having to fumble around with multiple components may not be something you want to deal with.
Okay.
Separating it into a separate part or keeping it out of the way may be advantageous at that point.
Yeah,
I'd still try and keep the calibers handy.
Yeah, you could probably just bundle them all together, all the parts for the same rifle. Yeah.
Now another feature that will be incorporated is possibly storing the barrel under the scope ring, so it'll be a 1 unit solid. So that will be another feature available. And when you have it all put up, it's a pretty basic backpack.
There it is. So there's a total survival system contained in one pack that you can throw on your back, and you can be out there and getting low in ammunition, and if it's 22 long rifle, 9mm 40 Smith & Wesson, or 45 ACP, you can utilize this whole package. And you know, if you're flying over you know, rugged territory, this would be a real comforting thing to have. If you were canoeing, backpacking, I can just imagine all sorts of different places where this would be a great piece of kit to have. Well, Jay, let's go see how this thing shoots.
Sure.
Safety on, magazine out, chamber check. Jay, that's a sweet shooting rifle.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like that. And let's go downrange and see what kind of a group we shot.
Let's do it.
Those two were my test shots to see where the sights were aimed at, and then I was aiming exactly right here, dead center. That's about 20 shots, all in the same hole. I'd say you got a winner here, Jay.
Thank you.
I can't wait for the ASR to come out for sale.
They'll be available shortly.
And that's a Cutlery high performance tip.